Hello. Welcome to Farming in Africa YouTube channel, your go-to channel for everything livestock information. When we talk about the impact we are making in trying to revolutionize the livestock agribusiness industry in Africa as a whole, where I am is a huge testament of it. I'm at a beautiful Baden farm somewhere all around this bush, but it's beautiful because this gentleman who owns this beautiful farm called Opoku's farm, actually he named it after his wife, and I would tell him I can't wait to meet this beautiful wife of his. Well, he has started livestock farming because he's been following Farming in Africa and Fred as a whole, and he has been inspired to do what he suddenly wants to do. We are here at his farm at a place called Apeja in the eastern region of Ghana, also because he has a very interesting way of cultivating his sementia grass. He bought the seeds from us recently, and my team and I are actually here to also see exactly his unique way of cultivating the sementia grass. Stay tuned because you don't want to miss, number one, his story of how he suddenly wants to go into livestock agribusiness because of the inspiration he got from Farming in Africa, and of course, his unique way of cultivating the sementia grass seeds. I shall be back with Mr. Opoku in a minute. Welcome back. I am in front of Mr. Opoku's beautiful farm called Opoku's farm, already mentioned, named after his wife, whom I can't wait to meet. But from the horse's own mouth, we are going to hear from him how, after how many years of being a businessman, he says, hey, it is livestock agribusiness I want to go into now. And then he has some really interesting knowledge on the cultivation of sementia grass seeds. So, Mr. Opoku, over to you. Nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you.
That was a nice ride to your farm.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you too. What inspired you to go into livestock farming?
Well, I saw Fred on Facebook.
Okay.
And he was teaching a lot. So I followed him. And actually, I love animals. I love rearing them as well. So when I saw Fred was into it, especially goat.
Yes.
I have done poultry before.
Okay.
But when I saw him into goat, I said, okay, let me just go into it and get to know what he's actually doing.
Yeah.
So I clicked on following him, and then I became one of his followers.
Thank you. He clicked on following us. And on this note, if you are new to this channel, listen, this is your go-to channel for everything livestock information. Please click on the channel because you have a lot in store for you. And if you're already a subscriber, just like he has done, click on the notification button and follow so you don't miss any update to bring your way. Forgive my heart. I wouldn't say it's a bright and sunny day. It's actually a very rainy day here today, but it is what it is. We love what we do, and that's why we've driven all the way to talk to Mr. Patrick Opoku. Now, what were you doing before you chanced on Fred and he inspired you?
Well, I'm a businessman. I'm into clothing importation.
Wow.
Yes, I import clothing from China and Turkey.
Wow.
And so that's what I have been into for the past 8 years.
Wow.
And actually, I decided to get into the farming business as well. I mean, you need to have 2 pots to feed in from, not only 1 pot. So I decided to make farming as my second source of income.
Fred will be very, very intrigued to see or hear this. And I must say, of all the people we have come across as people we have inspired, this is my first time meeting a businessman who is into importation of clothing. And he said from China, from Turkey. I was going to ask you, so what more do you need in terms of income earning? But you said, of course, you have to feed from what? 2 pots?
Yeah, from 2 pots.
So why goats?
Well, actually, goat is really, I'm much more interested in goat meat. I do love goat meat.
You love goat meat.
So I've been buying them.
Yeah.
Every Christmas I buy about 4 or 5 to slaughter in the house.
Wow.
So why not take the chance in rearing them myself and also do it on a scale whereby I can also sell it as well and make some extra cash from it.
Wow. So you are doing this farming on a commercial scale?
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
What land size are we looking at here? People think you need hectares of land size to be able to start your goat farming? What land size are we looking at here?
Actually, I have 1.5 acre of land.
Where we are?
No, this land size, I would say, is about half acre of land.
Wow.
Yeah, so
You've maximized it well.
yes, exactly where we are now, I
Yeah.
would say, let's say half acre of land. That is including where the pen is and all that.
Wow.
So I still have much space behind where I could use it for other purposes.
Wow. See, I keep saying wow because when we tell people no matter the land size you have, you can start your livestock agribusiness, some of you doubt it. Where we are is actually half an acre plot of land. Fred has said it over and over that you can even start with the backyard space you have behind your house, okay? And we are here because he contacted our team and insisted on visiting our farm. So I'm going to ask him what he took away from the visit to the Sementia Learning and Development Farm. But bear in mind that I am not at our own Suhum Sementia Farm today. I am somewhere in the middle of nowhere called Apeja. The weather here is beautiful and it has rained here. But let's ask him his takeaway from your visit to our Sementia Learning and Development Farm.
Well, I have learned a lot of things from Sementia farms or Farm in Africa.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot from there. Actually, it's my first time of seeing a boa goat.
Wow.
And it's something that everybody who is into goat farming should come and see what a boa goat is. I also learned that it is also good to do the local breeding as well.
Yes.
But if you want it fast, if you want fast cash, or if you want to have a faster means of,
And in your return on the investment.
then it is better, or it is best you go in for a pure breed, which is either the boa or the Kalahari, and stuff like that. And I also learned that in every farm you need to have at least a goat that will produce milk for you, which is the Alpine,
the Sunny,
or the Sunny that I saw at your farm, which is for milk production.
Yes.
In case after delivery mother is no more, there will be enough milk to feed the animal.
Hey, you're a good student. I didn't know you had learned all these.
And then also, I saw how greeny your Sementia grass is, which for me, nobody needs to tell you that it's fully packed with nutrient, that everybody should have it in their farm to feed their animals.
Let me ask you this so you take me around your beautiful farm. The first comment I made, guys, when I came here was his fencing is beautiful. And if you followed us for a while, we've told you how important fencing is when you start your own livestock agribusiness. Today, I'm insisting on using agribusiness because it is high time we saw what we do as profitable business, which should give us return on investment. If you have this mindset or this perspective, it's going to force you to do the right things and to put the right things or right measures in place so you can have your return on investment. As you take me around your beautiful Apirates farm, please tell me what your impression was of the infrastructure you saw at Sementia Farm, because we've always talked about how infrastructure is one of the 5 pillars to consider when you want to have a successful livestock agribusiness. Let's go. Take me to where the Sementia grass is as you answer my question on infrastructure.
Well, when it comes with infrastructure at Sementia Farm, I have learned a lot from there, where actually when we were coming, I told you that I still have a long way to go with as far as infrastructure is concerned.
Yes, that's true.
Fred is doing a good job with his infrastructure works. Things are in order, and I love how the pens are constructed.
Okay.
So as far as infrastructure is concerned,
Yeah.
Sementia Farm has done a good job.
Wow.
And there are so many things that I have learned from that place,
Yeah.
and I want to add it up to mine.
Yes.
I want to make some corrections with my infrastructure,
Yeah.
and at least get to the standard.
Get to the standard. And you tell me you constructed a raised pen because you saw us do the raised pen.
Exactly. Initially, I had no idea that I had to even raise it.
Wow.
Most goat farmers just do theirs on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when I saw yours, I sat down to understand, find out why you raised yours.
Yeah.
Then I realized that, okay, the pee and the poo and
all of
everything
that.
has to come down.
Yeah.
So there will be a distance between where the animals are and where they are.
In a nutshell, we raise our pens for hygienic purposes
Exactly.
as well.
Exactly.
It helps to control the stench or the smell that emanates from where the goats live and all of that.
Exactly.
I can't say it enough of how beautiful the environment here is. It's so lovely. Your goats are going to love it. Now I understand that the Sementia grass seeds you got from farming in Africa, you actually nursed yours and then transplanted. So I understand what I'm seeing. You nest and you transplanted. And there is another side where you also have planted it directly.
Yes.
Tell me about this whole transplant thing. Why did you do that? Because from my experience, I usually even tell people you can plant it directly.
Yeah.
So I just want to know why, is there a particular reason why you decided to nurse yours before you transplant?
Well, you see, actually why I decided to nurse mine is that this grass looks almost exactly like the local ones we have. So I decided to nurse it so that from where I nursed it, I could see it germinating. That way I get to see the grass itself germinating and growing up.
Yeah.
So I will be able to differentiate it from the local one.
Wow.
So that is why I chose to nurse it, so that I will see that, okay, this is where I nursed it, it's germinating, and this is it, this is it, this is it. Then I can differentiate it from the local ones.
And I'm also told you have an interesting practice with the seeds before you plant them. Can you share that knowledge with my audience and myself as well?
Of course, yeah. I
So
can.
what did you do to the seeds when you
Yes,
received them?
I noticed that the coating around it is somehow hard. So even if you plant it directly, the watering has to be very intensive.
Yeah, that's why we tell them plant when the rain
Yes,
starts.
to make it melt. You need a lot of water to let it, or to make it, or to let it melt.
Yeah.
So in that case, I soaked it.
You soaked it for how long?
For about an hour or even 30 minutes.
So we are not talking of a day's
No.
Okay.
I just soaked it for about an hour. Somehow you can even do it 30 minutes.
Okay.
Because on the farm, you will not just be able to plant it all at a go.
Yeah.
So I soaked it for an hour, and then I got on the farmland, and then I started planting them.
Did anybody give you this prior knowledge?
No, I came up with it to
There is no one formula to farming.
Exactly. So that in that case,
Yeah.
when you plant it, it's not going to take long for it to germinate.
Wow.
Yes, but if you plant it directly, there's a high probability that it might take a little bit long to germinate because of the experience I had with the one that I nursed. So
Okay.
yes, before nursing the first one, I did not soak it.
I see.
Yes, before nursing the first one, I did not soak it.
Yes.
So it took me a hard time to germinate. Yes, but when it happens like that, you might think it will not germinate.
Yeah.
It will.
It will.
It will germinate, but it takes a little bit of time. All that you have to do is to be patient, keep watering it.
You have no idea how eye-opening this information you've given us is. Because I'll be honest with you, we've had people come to us and say that I planted the Sementia grass seeds, but it didn't germinate. And we always tell them that there are a lot of factors that contribute to the germination of the seeds.
Right.
That is why, as a general rule, we advocate that when the rain starts, the ground is very moist.
Exactly.
Just plants.
Right.
But I'm learning from you today that the coating can sometimes delay a little bit its germination process.
Exactly.
So all you need is patience.
Yes.
And a lot of water. And that's why you decide to soak yours for at least an hour.
Exactly.
I mean, maximum 1 hour.
Yes, maximum.
Listen, I always say I love this job because every day we learn something new. And today at Apeja here at Apoyres Farm, I like the way it rolls off my tongue. Here at Apoyres Farm, I've learned something new, especially with the germination of the sementia grass seeds. In a nutshell, what Mr. Opoku is telling us is that the seeds do germinate.
It does.
Yes, it does germinate. But there is a technique he applies to his which enhances or hastens the germination process, which is he soaks his seeds for maximum 1 hour before he plants it because he believes the coating is a bit hard, and so you have to dissolve it a little. It takes time before you plant it in the ground. I think I want to clap for you because that's like a really eye-opening information. So going forward, what are your plans to scale up your farm?
Currently, I am a beginner.
Okay.
I'm a beginner. I'm starting with the local dwarf.
Ones. Yeah. The West African
The West
dwarf.
African dwarf.
Yeah.
I'm starting with it, and then with time, I'll come in with the foreign boa, the Kalahari or the boa.
Yeah.
So now, Apoyres Farm is starting with local breed.
Yeah.
The dwarf and the mixture of the Saheli.
Yeah.
We are starting with it, and then in the near future, we'll come in with a foreign one, which will be from Farming Africa or the Sementia Farm.
Which will be from Farming in Africa or Sementia Farm.
Exactly.
This is humbling because, you know, a lot of people think that because we advocate for the foreign breeds, because of the return on investment they give you basically, people think that we look down or we discourage starting your own livestock farm with the local ones. But just as you've heard from him, at our farm, he saw some of the local breeds himself. Yes. They are in good state, they are doing well, being fed very well. And he wants to start with the local ones before he ventures into the foreign ones. So listen, no matter your skill, no matter your capital, no matter the land size you have, it is possible. There is something for everybody out there. If there is nothing at all you are taking away from this video, take away from my visit to Mr. Opoku's farm today here at Apeja in the Eastern region, that there is something for you always to start with, no matter how much capital you have, no matter the land size you have. And of course, keep following us, because I always say that as a beginner like Mr. Opoku, if he goes to our YouTube channel and goes through the videos we have posted, this is free education to you guys. Each video has answers to questions you have as a beginner. We have a video on how to start a farm, what to do when you are expecting babies at your farm.
Right.
All of those videos and content are there. Yeah. So for somebody watching who is considering going into livestock agribusiness, even though he has his own business, what would you tell him?
Well, I would say that the person should get on his feet and start as fast as he can.
As fast as he can.
Yes, because like I said, I call this natural cash.
Natural cash.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah, this is going to bring a natural returns whereby you can support yourself with it. Yeah. It's very important, and you can also do this as a source of your interest. Maybe that's where you find interest in. You can also do it, but hey, you can also go in for this as a commercial farming as well. You can do it commercially, and it will bring a lot of cash. So I would advise the young guys to also get into it, and I would advise they should go to the Sementia farm, YouTube, Facebook. Just go there, Google or type Farming Africa. You are going to see Fred there. You are going to see his crew. You are going to see everybody there, and they have a lot you can learn from there. Yes, there's a lot you can learn as a beginner. I took my inspiration and everything from Fred. Wow. Yes, I took everything from Fred. So I would advise everyone to subscribe.
Thank you very much.
Get the knowledge they need.
Subscribe and get the knowledge they need. Fred, today a special shout out to you because, man, you are inspiring a lot of minds out there. You have no idea. And every time we come across one of them, even we as your team, we are just so humbled by the impact you are making out there. Guys, he has said it all for me. If you are inspired by what farming in Africa is doing, the advocacy for having your own pasture as a livestock farmer. And that is why even Mr. Opoku's farm here, he hasn't introduced the animals yet. But see, he is cultivating his pasture first before he introduces the animal. Because why bring the animals and make them starve when you don't have enough feed for them?
Exactly.
He has said it all. We love you, and today all the way from Apija in the eastern region of Ghana, we say see you again next time. Who knows? From this same farm when there are animals running all over the place. Mr. Opoku, let's say bye-bye to my audience.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.